Good morning, friends. Welcome to 2026. Ellen Goshen here. So today is a morning. Let me just say, we are going to wing a bunch of stuff today because for different reasons, folks were not able to be here this morning. So I was not expecting to play. Just let me say. So I'm going to play a short prelude, and then Chrissy will welcome us to our gathering.
Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Pittsburgh and to our Kwanzaa service. This morning is Sunday, January 4th, 2026. I'm today's liturgist, Chrissy Ambras. I use she, her pronouns, and for anyone experiencing any visual challenges, I'm a light-skinned woman. I'm in my mid-40s. I have short brown hair. I have reading glasses, which is a fun new addition for all of us. And today I'm wearing a purple blouse and a black skirt. Our minister, the Reverend Kate Walker, is on sabbatical through the end of May, so she's not with us this morning, but you are all with us this morning, and you are all welcome here. If you're watching us online, if you're with us, you are welcome. If you're a longtime member, a brand new member, a visitor, you are welcome. We Unitarian Universalists are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We're a multi-faith religious community where all are welcome, diversity is celebrated, and questions are expected. We're all growing, all learning, and all loved. So just as you are, you're welcome. If you are new and this is your first time, please stop and say hi. We have a welcome desk in our atrium through those doors and down the stairs. If you're on YouTube, you can kind of say hi to us virtually. You could Google First Unitarian, visit our website, sign up for our newsletter at the bottom of the page. In terms of announcements, I have one quick announcement this morning, and that is that they have extended the deadline for submissions to the art show for a couple of weeks. So if you missed that deadline, no, you didn't. And with that, I would invite you into a deep breath, arriving here in body and spirit, and feel yourself connected to everyone with us this morning or who will be with us. We'll turn to our chalice, which is the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. If you have a chalice at home, we invite you to light it at this time. And as we light the chalice on this very special morning, I have some words from Erica Shadowsong, who is our beloved Lifespan Religious Education Director. Erica can't be with us this morning. She's away visiting family, but she did plan this service, and this is her message to us all about the story that we're about to hear this morning. So this is from Erica. Today is a sacred day. Like other high holy days, today we're going to tell a story that reminds millions of us African Americans of who we are and where we come from. Jewish people have the Exodus, the Maccabees, and other stories that they tell every year. Christians tell the story of Jesus' birth and death. And this is a story for people who have to learn to live in the world around them while resisting the pressure to pretend to be the same as everyone else. If you cannot find yourself in this story, cannot be anchored by it, then realize that you're hearing it as a witness, just like any other such story. If it feels more defiant than usual, know that this story changed our country, because for the first time, it's told from the point of view of the people to whom it belongs. It's not a story about how Black people ended up in a country that wasn't for them. Instead, it's the story of how we built a foundational part of this country's identity and how we were here at the start, even though it was not by choice. Our roots are in another land, but they are also in this land. And this defiant story is that story. It's a holy story for a holy day with a holy power to heal today and every day. Amen, Erica. With that, I would ask that you please rise in body or spirit and join in our opening hymn, number 147, When All the Peoples on This Earth. We are now going to light our first kinara candle. The Kwanzaa kinara is a 7-branched candle holder, and it represents the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. So we'll light one candle for each principle. So the first is in the middle. It's the black candle in the middle, and it represents umoja, or unity. And this one we light to strive for and maintain unity within families, communities, nations, and races. And in that spirit of community, I invite you now to join me in our collective reading, which is the grounding this morning. The words are in your order of service. We name our collective recommitment to care for the earth, knowing the ground we live upon is sacred. We pledge to bring new life to the earth, new life to the air, new life to the waters, new life to each other, for all life is sacred. will now light the second candle. This candle represents the principle of Kujichokulia, which is self-determination. This candle encourages us to name and define for ourselves and to shape our own destinies.
Good morning. My name is Deborah McGuire, and I am serving my first year term on the Board of Trustees. Thank you for being here. I'm going to be reading from the book that Erica's message mentioned. It's from the 1619 Project. It's called Born on the Water, and it was written by Nikole Hannah-Jones and Renee Watson. And the illustrations, yeah, you'll be able to see them on the screens. The illustrations are by Nicholas Smith. It's a beautiful book. Questions. My teacher gave us an assignment. Who are you? She asks. Trace your roots. Draw a flag that represents your ancestral country. Most of my classmates can count back many generations and learn about the countries where their families came from. They draw their flags, but I leave my paper blank. I do not know where I begin, what my story is. At home, Grandma says, "How was school?" I tell her about the assignment, how I couldn't finish it, how I can only count back 3 generations here in this country where my parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents were born. But before that, I do not know. I tell her I am ashamed. Grandma gathers the whole family, says, "Come, let me tell you your beginning. Let me tell you where you're from." What Grandma tells me. They say our people were born on the water, but our people had a home, a place, a land, before they were sold. 400 years ago in 1619, our ancestors were taken and brought here on a ship called the White Lion, a whole year before the Mayflower sailed. But before that dreadful voyage, there was a time when they did not pray for freedom. There was a time when they did not sing about overcoming. Their story does not begin with whips and chains. They had a home, a place, a land, a beginning. Their story is our story. Before they were enslaved, they were free. They had a language. They spoke Kimbundu, had their own words for love, for friend, for family. The kingdom of Ndongo was nestled between the Lukala and Kwanzaa rivers on the high plain of West Central Africa. The people were good with their hands, knew the power of a seed, how to plant it, water it, how to make something out of nothing. The people were good with their minds, good at math and science. They used shells for money, counting, recording, trading. They knew what their work was worth. They spoke Kimbundu, had their own words for joy, for grow, for home. Their hands had a knowing. Their hands had a knowing. They knew how to hold a baby close, how to rock the child to keep her from crying. Their hands knew how to mix herbs and how to get the just right flavor for a meal. Their hands knew how to beat and twist and shape iron, how to make gardening tools, armor, and weapons. Their hearts had a knowing. They knew how to make work joyful, how to create rhythm by pounding the tools against metal, knew how to make music to keep them company as they worked. Their minds had a knowing, worldly, curious, sharp. When they met the white people, they learned quick, taught their tongues to speak Portuguese, taught their eyes to read strange words. They knew how to mix the old with the new, even how an ancient people always had to learn. And they danced. And the people moved their feet, moved their whole bodies to the melody of horns and stringed instruments, of marimbas and drums. They danced to celebrate, to mourn. They danced as a way of worship, to offer thanks. Their bodies a song under open sky and bright sun. Their bodies a swaying testament to the beauty of creation. Stolen. And the white people took them anyway, kidnapped them, baptized them in the name of their God, stamped them with new names. Ours is not an immigration story. They did not get to pack bags stuffed with cherished things, with the doll grandmama had woven from tall grass, with the baby blanket handed down from generation to generation, all the way back, so far back it carried the scent of the ancestors. They could not hug their fathers and mothers, daughters and sons, heart thumping in rhythm, clinging to that final sweetness before parting, no promises, whispered from ear to ear, of seeing each other soon. Just wails and sobs, confusion and wrists worn raw from shackles made of iron, feet split and bloody from the 200-mile march along the Kwanzaa River. They had no things, but they had their minds, the old ways, the harvest songs, the just right mix of herbs etched in their memories. They had their bodies, histories and bloodlines and drums pulsing in their veins. With trembling fingers, they braided seeds into their hair, defiantly hiding tiny pieces of home to plant one day in the new soils. No matter what some say, the people fought. And the white people took them away anyway, forced them into the bottom of an evil ship to sail to a new world they had no desire to see. Ours is not an immigration story. The White Lion. No one knows how long it took before they knew they would never see Ndongo again, never run along the high plateau or throw their bodies back in giggles with their best friends. Maybe it was the second month or the third when they had not seen their land or any land for so many days they could no longer count. Some could not bear the pain. They refused to eat. They shut their mouths until their hearts gave out. Others tossed themselves into the teal eternity of the Atlantic Ocean, swimming one last time with the ancestors. Sickness and hunger, filth and cruelty took the others, almost half. But those who did not die resolved to live no matter what. Packed in dark misery, strangers chained together, head to feet, hip to hip, in the bottom of a ship called the White Lion. They saw that these strangers, men, women, children, kidnapped too, from many villages, these were their people now. These many people became one people, a new people. And that is why the people say, we were born on the water. We came from the people who refused to die.
We'll now light the third candle of the kinara. This third candle, ujima, or collective work. And this principle calls us to build and maintain communities together, to make each other's problems our problems, and to work together to solve them. And now it is time for the morning offering. So every month, we share our generosity with a designated organization. This month, it is the A. Philip Randolph Institute, and all donations are shared with that organization 50-50 unless they're otherwise designated. The A. Philip Randolph Institute They fight for racial equality and economic justice. It was founded in 1965 to continue the struggle for social, political, and economic justice for working Americans.
So would you like the ushers to come forward?
Yes.
To receive the offering?
Please.
The ushers should come forward to receive the offering. Come on down. There we go.
The fourth candle of the kinara is Ujamaa, or cooperative economics. And that principle calls us to build and maintain businesses together and share communally in their benefits. And now I invite us all to turn inward, to listen to our own hearts as we hold each other in our thoughts with all of our joys and all of our sorrows. This morning, I want to share that a beloved friend of First Unitarian, the Reverend Pat Trudeau, has died suddenly on December 27th of an aneurysm. Pat is survived by her husband Wilburn and their son Donovan Hayden, both of whom I know many members and friends of First Unitarian know and love. And invite you now into a few moments of silence, personal prayer, and meditation. I offer some words of prayer this morning with the words of Viola Abbott. Let us call forth and hold in our hearts the stories of all those who have come before us, the memories of those who are with us today, and the hope for tomorrow for all those who will come after us. Let us be thankful for the opportunity for healing, forgiveness, and reconciliation, while knowing that we can never and should never forget what's brought us to where we are today. Let us be glad that voice has not only been given to those whose sorrow and pain were their companions, but that the stories told by those voices have been received with a goal of redemption and understanding. Let us call upon that light which shines in each of us to give us the strength to walk together into the future and do the work that is necessary and which does not end today. Let us have the wisdom to lovingly hold the conversations we need to have with each other in order to grow this faith in radical love and inclusion. Amen.
This is part 2 of Born on the Water. Point comfort. Finally, the ship stopped moving and the people were dragged to the deck. They closed their eyes against the light of a sun they had not seen since Mother Africa's coast. They closed their eyes against the sight of a land that was not theirs. They cried a silent cry as white men spoke strange words, talking about their bodies, and with a handshake traded another's child, another's mama and daddy, 20 to 30 beloved human beings in all, for a few pounds of food and drink. 400 years ago, in the year 1619, the white people called this land Virginia, a sweet-sounding word for a place of such pain, a sweet-sounding word for the place where American slavery began. Tobacco fields. From sunup to sundown, the people worked the fields, growing and harvesting tobacco. The crops were sold to Europe, bringing wealth to Virginia, but the enslaved people did not get anything in return for their labor. The people worked and worked. When the people grew weary, they remembered their yesterdays, remembered their songs from Undongo, sang them to ease their spirits. As they sang, they looked into the future, hoped for better days, planted prayers into the heavens, praying, praying, praying for freedom. How to make a home. After a long day's work planting tobacco in the fields, after brutal treatment, after nothing to show for their hard work, sadness would come, a longing for Undongo, for the moments, for the daddies, for the friends they could no longer hug and talk with under the warm sun. They were in a strange land, they said, but we are here and we will make this home. We have our songs, our recipes, our know-how. We have our joy. We will love, laugh, sing, and hug our children as tight as we can hold a child. We will survive because we have each other. And so the people planted the seeds they carried over the ocean, snuck to visit one another in the dark of night, sang songs, swapped tales of yesterday, remembering. And the people planted dreams of hope, willed themselves to keep living. And the people learned new words for love, for friend, for family, for joy, for grow, for home. We are in a strange land, they said, but we are here and we will make this home. We have determination, imagination, faith. We will survive because we have each other. The Tuckers of Tidewater, Virginia, 1624. Anthony and Isabella enslaved on the plantation of Captain William Tucker and his wife Mary Tucker, two ordinary people forced to till the soil forced to build a country they were not from, found a way to build a love for each other, to marry and create a family, a legacy. They did not know their family would be the start of a new people. They were just two ordinary people who had a son, a new beginning, a promise to live on and on. William Tucker, hope is a promise, faith that a better day will come, belief that things will not always be this way. Hope is refusal to give up, to die out. Hope is a child born. Way back then, hope had a name, William Tucker. He was born to ordinary people, a man and a woman, who were not free, but who believed in freedom, and who were not free, but who believed that one day freedom would come, even if they never saw it. These two ordinary people gave life to an extraordinary child not of Africa, a child not of Europe, nor of the native peoples already here, but a child of a new people formed on the water. The first black child born in the land of the United States, and born in the land that would become the United States, the first truly American child. Resist. Life was hard, and it would get harder for the generations to come. White people told the people they were not human, that they were things to be bought and sold and given as gifts alongside horses and chairs. When the people were beaten, they said the people did not feel pain. When they sold the people's children, they said the people didn't love. These were lies they made up so they could feel okay about slavery. It is wrong, always and forever, to own human beings. It is wrong, always, and forever, to treat human beings like things. The people fought back. For 250 years, the people resisted every day in ways big and small. For 250 years, the biggest resistance of all was that the people kept living. Legacy. The people who were born on the water survived, kept living and living. It was illegal to teach enslaved people how to read, but they birthed generations of teachers and librarians, scholars and authors. They were brokenhearted, beaten, and bruised, but they became healers, pastors, activists, doctors, and counselors. No one could steal the people's joy. They wrote songs, created jazz and hip-hop, rhythm and blues. They became inventors and athletes, nurses and cooks, pilots and architects, farmers and housekeepers, singers and artists, dancers and poets, mathematicians and scientists. They passed on their stories through the stitch of a quilt, shared secret messages through songs. The people survived, the people fought. And because the people survived and because the people fought, they finally got freedom. And because the people survived and because the people fought, America has equality in the law. And because the people survived and because the people fought, America began to live up to its promise of democracy. It is the people who fought for this democracy still. Pride. Grandma looks at me and my brother, tells us, this is why we say Black Lives Matter. We celebrate Black girl magic. We believe we are ancestors' wildest dreams. Never forget we are their hope. Never forget we come from a people of great strength, Grandma says. Be proud of our story, your story. The next day I go to school, pull out my red crayon, my blue and my white. I draw the stars, I draw the stripes and the flag of the country that my ancestors built, that my grandma and grandpa built, and I will help build too. I am not ashamed. I know what my story is, where I am from, where I began.
We'll now light our 5th candle of the kinara. The principle represented here is Nia, which is purpose. Nia reminds us to work toward the building and flourishing of all communities so that everyone can achieve greatness. And please join me now in a sung response. I'm sorry? Not yet?
Yeah, there's another candle. 6 and 7?
And 5th, and then the sounds.
Is this We Are?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm thinking about many things. I'm sorry.
And the words are in your order of service and on the screens, but if you care to look at the notes, it is 10:51. Just make sure you follow the words that are in the order of service.
Sixth candle of the kinara, kuumba, or creativity. And this principle reminds us to always do as much as we can in whatever way we can to leave our communities more beautiful and more beneficial than we inherited them. And actually, we're going to also light the 7th candle of the kinara now. The 7th and final candle is imani, or faith. Imani calls us to believe with all of our hearts in people, in families, in communities, and in the righteousness of struggle. And now, please join in a hymn. This is Breaths, and the words are on the screen and in your order of service.
Listen more often. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters.
Let us now extinguish our chalice. As Alice comes up, please join me in the words that are in your order of service. As we extinguish this chalice, this flame, I apologize. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Carrie Holly Hurt wrote the words for our benediction this morning. Love holds you. Love bears witness to all your inherent dignity and worthiness. It witnesses how you try, succeed, and fail, and it does not flinch. Love will not let go. Love holds all of you. Go now with that love and in peace.
I'm going to sing a camp meeting song in lieu of our guest musician being here. And it's a traditional song, a traditional American song, which is a blend of many cultures. And I am sure that the African ethos of music is in this camp meeting song, even though it was sung by white folks at their camp meetings. We'll camp a little while in the wilderness, in the wilderness, in the wilderness. We'll camp a little while in the wilderness, and then I'm going home, and then I'm going home, and then I'm going. We're all up a little while.